Hello and welcome to another episode of the week, or not weekly, bi-weekly, not even bi-weekly, double weekly episode of the Wheaton Wrestling Podcast. I can't say the names right, but that's fine because we're just going to have a triple threat over Bret Hart and fucking Triple H, and I'm the Dark Guardian referee in the background, waiting to watch these three talk a bunch of mad shit for no real reason. Woo!
Well, we also have to go over our top five champions. So
I,
that's
I
not the
didn't
only
even
thing we're
study,
doing.
I didn't even study up on that because I just knew this was going to end up dominating the fucking podcast.
It might not.
It may not. It
We'll see. We'll see.
We will see. So, first, what's everybody's opinion on what Bret Hart said? Let's start there.
Well, my thing is this, and I'm glad you brought this up. You've been talking about this since like 7 this morning, so I'm pumped and ready. At this point, I just think it's sour grapes. I mean, I love Bret Hart. I say it every week, but just to complaining and keep on going on, I'm like, yo, dude, this shit happened almost 30 years ago. We still bringing this shit up. Know what I mean? Like, it got to be something else to really talk about and really going in about. If we're going to talk about something, his hate for WWE, let's talk about the hate for Owen Hart not being around no more. Last time I checked, WWE is responsible for him not being there. That's just my opinion. Number two, I disagree with the fact when he say Triple H is, he's not really a good wrestler. I mean, I disagree with that. I don't understand how a man that has about 15 world championships is somewhat
14.
overrated. 14, thank you, is somewhat terrible. I just don't understand it. My opinion of Triple H, I just don't think he's a wrestler. I'm still gonna go by that. I'll give it A minus. If you give him less than an A minus or whatever, it's just at this point hatred. But we gotta stop. We gotta stop thinking. We gotta separate Triple H from the promoter, content officer, to a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna sit here and have something against the man because he's a terrible promoter, go ahead. But you can't take away the fact what he did in the ring. He was great in the ring. But for Bret Hart to say he was terrible is just sour grapes at this point. There's nothing else to complain about. Like every week, it's just Bret Hart said this, Bret Hart said that, Bret Hart said this. It's like I'm literally on my timeline. I'm like, yo, Bret Hart, he's popping up. He's gonna say something, and he keeps on bringing up the same shit. I just don't know what this shit is about, man. I really don't. I don't know why you keep on bringing up the Montreal screw job. I just don't understand it. And the thing is, he keeps on saying this, but you come back to WWE. I don't understand it. It's making you feel like a fucking hypocrite. I don't understand it whatsoever. Yeah, that's my pet peeve. Go ahead.
All right. So for me, bro, I'm in complete agreement with you. Don't get me wrong. I love Bret Hart. He's an amazing wrestler. For the time that he gave us in the ring, unfortunately, his time was cut short by the kick that Goldberg gave him. That's his claims. I will say this.
Even though he wrestled 3 more matches after that.
Yeah, well, I will say this. Bret Hart is beating a dead horse. Okay? He is complaining about the same shit over and over and over and over and over and over again. Listen, I get it. You're bitter. You're angry. You got screwed over. Okay, fine. It's a sore spot. I get it 100%. But in the long run, the only one that you are really causing any harm to is yourself. I mean, Triple H is not. I mean, by you complaining, Triple H is not. They're not going to demote him. He's not going to make any more money. He's not going to lose his position. If anything, you're bringing more light to him. Being that you're mentioning him, being that you have his name in your mouth, you are bringing him people to see, oh, wait, Bret's talking shit about him. Let's go focus on Triple H and see what he's up to. Okay? So, Bret, I don't know you personally, and I know my words probably don't carry weight with you because, you don't know me. But at some point, let it go. The only person you're actually causing harm to is yourself for holding a grudge for nearly 30 years. I mean, shit. I'm surprised you haven't brought back the WrestleMania seat scandal that happened to you this year. You know, I'm surprised you're not writing that. So I think Bret needs to let it go. He's making his money by making appearances. He's making his money by having his likeness used on T-shirts and video games and action figures and, you know, game, whatever. You're still making your money. You have a beautiful wife. You have a beautiful home. Enjoy it. Stop bitching.
And then that's another thing, though, too. For him to constantly bitch that Triple H, his niece works for WWE. Triple H may fuck her over continuously. So I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it, man. I really don't, man. I don't know, man.
Triple A's giving Natalia the most heat that she's gotten in fucking years.
He gonna fuck her over next.
Yeah.
It's just
neither of you guys actually touched on what he said. Like, specifically what he said that stood out to me was when he called him a phony. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Okay. Why would that be something that's on your mind?
Oh, shit. Somebody's got an ass whooping.
This is brought to you by WGG. WGG, our sponsor. You know, they make some pretty banging energy drinks there. You know, they get it right. WGG, awesome stuff.
I didn't realize you guys could still hear me. My bad. Being a parent's hard. 1 second.
You're fine.
So listen, guys. I read some article that does mention that Bret saying that he's phony. That's nothing new. It's just him. I don't see any difference in what he's saying now about H being phony versus all the other times he's complained. It's the same. Listen, it's the same song and dance. Yeah. There's nothing.
We were just arguing.
It's
about
just
this. That's only different.
Listen, it's a remix. It's a remix to the same argument.
Here's my thing. First of all, you know he doesn't have to let it go. My brother does that shit to me. Jada Kiss had his nasty little fucking groupie and him cut in front of me in line when I was like 12 years old. I've been bitching about it since that day. And my brother keeps saying let it go. No, I'll never let that stuffy chick go. He's an asshole. So no. Bret Hart can be mad and bitch about it forever. Second, it was a Q&A. People keep asking him these questions to get these answers, you know, at Q&A. So it's not like Bret Hart, you know, just going on YouTube and talking about this, you know. So give the other man some slack. Everyone's like, he's talking about it. Tell the people who are interviewing stop asking the same questions. You know?
Okay, but it's a difference in asking a question and insulting somebody.
Anyway, you guys didn't touch on how he called him a phony because that was one of the things that I really felt like Triple H just isn't a real person. Like, he isn't real. Like, everything he does, everything he has done in WWE has been conniving to get to that point. He's a phony. He's a fake person. That was one of the things I said. That's one of the things I leaned on. And he's like, how is he a fake person? Well, he's a fake person. There's so many instances, like his reputation backstage, you know, like his pushes that don't really push it. The same things I brought up, we're saying he's a phony. And it's absolutely true. It still sticks. And that's what I wanted to say.
Well, Laniya, first of all, the reason he calling him phony because of the bullshit that happened with Montreal Screwjob, that's what me and Gus is trying to say. You bringing up some other shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, let me finish. I'll let you talk. You're going to let me finish. Yeah, all right? Word. He constantly keeps on bringing up the Montreal Screwjob. My thing is, if it was that bad, why the hell did you come back? If it's that bad, why the hell did you come back? He keeps on bringing that up. It's over. It's over. The whole thing with Goldberg, it's over. You keep on bringing it up. That's what me and Gus is trying to say. No, let me finish. Laniya, please let me finish. Please let me. I gave you your time. You're gonna let me speak. He keep on bringing it up. That's what me and Gus is saying. This shit been going on for 30 years. You still bringing this shit up. Like, what else do you want? Like, what else does the man want?
I mean, I think that he wants people to recognize how right he is. And he is right. I don't think the fact that he talks about all the time makes him wrong. And again, he's not like Bret Hart's like just going out and talking about these things. People are asking him these questions at Q&As that he's getting paid for, you know? So, of course, he's going to give the same answer because these are the questions that people are asking. Why people are asking the same questions?
Okay, but it's the difference in answering a question and adding more to it. Obviously, there's this. First of all, the one thing I learned, right? And, you know, my wife taught me this. My mother taught me this. Sometimes you got to forgive yourself to move on. For some weird reason, it's not resolved. Whatever this gripe is, I think it's deeper than the Montreal screw job. It's deeper than that.
Oh, definitely.
He keeps on bringing this shit up. I just don't understand it. If Triple H, if Triple H is friendly, we get it. But my thing is this: why the hell you keep on coming back? Then you can't sit there and say maybe for the fans, maybe for us. But my thing is, if he's such so phony and all this, and second of all, I don't think his gripes with Triple H. I think it's with Vince, not Triple H. Vince is not in the picture no more. So guess what? I'm gonna throw my frustration right at Vince.
Well, listen,
So
here's
whatever
the
gripe,
here's-
gripe he has is deeper than the Montreal screw job. It's deeper than that.
listen. At the end of the day, Bret is entitled to feel the way he feels. There's no doubt about it.
I agree.
I feel, and I'm sure a billion other fans around the world that have witnessed it firsthand when they watch the pay-per-view, versus even now, fans that are just learning about it and looking at the videos. He is entitled. He's entitled to feel the way he does. He's not wrong for feeling the way he does. I just think for us who have been there since day one, since like I don't know about any of you actually watched the pay-per-view and when it's first aired, okay, but he's entitled to it. It's just that we're tired of hearing the same song and dance. I know there are fans out there that maybe ask a question and they trigger him, but at some point, for his own mental health, he needs to let go. Again, you don't have to forgive. You don't have to forgive. You don't have to forgive.
You forget, but you never forget.
At some point, for your own sanity, you need to let it go.
He was literally asked.
Well, what would you have rather him say? He was asked.
And yeah, they asked him, "What do you think is leadership?" And you know,
listen. I'm not disagreeing with him answering the question, but you're adding more stuff to it. That's the gripe with this whole thing. Triple H is phony. Okay, every businessman is phony. You know, people at my job call me phony. It's a business. What you want him to do? You know what I'm saying? What else does Bret want? That's the question. What does he want? What closure does he want? You want Triple H out of a job? You gonna get closure over that? You still gonna be complaining? You know, unless somebody has a fucking time machine, pull up a fucking DeLorean or something and go back in time and fix this shit, he's gonna continue to be talking about this. Like you added more stuff to it.
Like,
huh?
I really want to focus on Triple H is phony and Triple H stuff.
But no, I agree with what you're saying, but you're all right. You and Lash said, all right, somebody asked him a question, what he's supposed to do. Yes, you're going to answer the question, but you're adding more stuff to it. Oh, he's a phony. He's this, he's that. Like, I just don't understand it. Just a few months ago, you was at WrestleMania weekend with him. So who's the phony now? You see what I'm saying? He's that bad, but every time Triple H invites you, you coming through.
Well, I mean, again, you know.
Okay, so Triple H can't be that phony if he's coming to WrestleMania weekend.
Hey, can I speak?
Go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, you know, he still obviously wants to be a part of the universe, you know, to a degree. You know, he wants to be able to show up to WrestleMania and be able to have a seat. And fucking on that, what do you want him to do? Do you want him to talk shit to the guy right there? Like, of course he's going to act cordial with him. You know, but he's getting asked a question at a Q&A, and so far we spent more time thinking about it right now than he has.
That's true.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
I'm not obsessing over it. It's another straw on the camel's back. You know, the camel's back's been broken, and fucking it is what it is, and I wouldn't expect him to say anything different. I wouldn't expect him to say anything less. Fuck them. Yeah, you know, I don't typically change my opinion on people that fuck me over. You know, they especially when they fuck me over that bad. Fuck them.
No, you gave a good argument. I respect that. But if I have an issue with somebody, I'm not talking to the media. I'm gonna say it to your face. That's the way I was brought up. You know what I'm saying? If I got a problem with you, I'm coming right to your face.
It's not like when they're meeting face to face. He's like, "Hey, Brett, how do you think I am as a wrestler and as a businessman? How do you think?" He's not asking those fucking questions. He's saying hello. Like,
so by calling somebody phony, what is your thoughts on that? That's not no Q&A. That's something else.
It's fucking Triple H. The Reign of Terror. Hello?
We talking about somebody. So Ryan, we talking about somebody in character now, bro. I'm talking about the person. Obviously, if we talking character, they all fucking phony. They all phony. Let me finish. If we talking about character, they all phony. But if we talking about the person, what the fuck is phony about Triple H? I'm not in there. Yes, he's fucking over people. Yes, but that doesn't mean he's phony.
The person Triple H, Paul Levesque, he was there the night of the Montreal Screwjob.
I agree with that.
Along with other occasions to fuck over Bret Hart's career. That's some phony shit. That was him as a person.
But Ryan,
and as a character that showed by having the Reign of Terror that he would go on to win the title so many times over such a long period of time that they even name it a fucking mini era. It's a mini era. The Reign of Terror is a mini era because of what Paul Levesque wanted fucking done.
All right, so you keep on first of all, I saw the documentary, right? We all saw the documentary. They was acting on what Vince wanted. All right, the only one that had balls to stand up to Vince was the Undertaker. Is I'm right or wrong? I guess so. So if let me finish. If he's following what his boss is telling him to do to get a title shot down the road, guess what? He's going to do what he has to do. Remember, I argued last week. I don't think Triple H was a fucking A player. Obviously, he had to do certain things to move up to that title. You know what? Hey, boss, what you want me to do? Let's fuck over Brett. He's like, oh, okay, boss. We're going to do that.
But that alone just goes against the culture of wrestling. Like, you don't push other people down. You know, if it takes licking the boss's asshole and pushing other people down to get up, that's not the way. And that alone shows he's phony. You know, like.
That can be said. Listen, that can be said about any professional environment. How many people for a promotion, for a pay bump, is gonna fucking rat out or fuck over their coworkers?
Thank you. Thank you. That happens every company.
No matter what the environment, no matter what the industry.
Here's
is
the
no
thing.
different.
Why are you trying to generalize this? This is wrestling. This isn't just a typical fucking job. All right. I don't know what jobs you work. I don't know what jobs you've worked to where you've been in a position to where, I mean, well, you work in the medical industry, obviously. So, I'm sure there's times where it's been necessary to snitch on somebody because of what they fucking did. They were doing bad male practices or whatever. But what regular ass fucking job is it like, oh, he showed up 15 minutes late. Let me make sure to tell my boss about that. Like, what kind of conniving shit are you talking about? This is fucking wrestling. All right. This is a man's career that was ended preemptively on part of him. So what, Vince? So what he was taking orders. So what he was taking orders from Vince. So what he was taking orders from Vince. He was taking orders from Vince. That's bad enough too.
I said that.
I know. I'm saying that's bad too.
Listen,
so I get
what you're getting at, Lash. But wrestling, even though wrestling is this completely different thing from punching in on a 9 to 5, it's still a job for a lot of these wrestlers. So it's still a job for a lot of people in the back. It's a job for people in the office. So there are people fucking each other over, just like they would be in a hospital, just like they would be doing it at whatever other job you can think of, there are people fucking over people. Okay, so
Yeah,
wrestling,
so that doesn't make it
even
good.
Even though wrestling,
What's your point? People are shit.
my
I get
my
that.
point. My
People are
point
shit.
is,
We're talking about a specific situation. I don't care to generalize it out into other fucking things. This isn't a generalization. He went out of his way to fuck over a man's career. It took one night. It took one single act. And then there were other acts on top of it before then that went
and
off
that's
and
no
happened.
different.
Brett
That's no
wants to be
different from
pissed
any
about
other
it.
job.
He has every right to be
What I'm
pissed. It's
getting
not like
at,
he
what
got
I'm
fucked
getting
over,
at,
went on and had a better career because of it. He went over,
what
he
I'm
got fucked over and went on and had a terrible career in WCW.
listen.
So I
What
don't blame
I'm
him for
getting
being
at,
bitter.
what I'm getting at is Triple H was offered a choice. He could have said no to the boss, and then he would have had a horrible career.
Yep,
Or he
that's
did
true.
what a
Yep.
lot of people would have done in that position and said, all right, I got you, boss. You're promising me this. I got your back. I'm going to do what you asked me to do. So I don't see the difference between him as a wrestler versus somebody who's mopping floors to get ahead. I don't see the difference. I know you don't like the generalization of it, but they're parallel. They're parallel in comparison.
They're
Sure,
not.
one makes more money than the other, but I mean, I don't see the difference.
A janitor versus a wrestler?
Fucking
Janitor
over
versus a
somebody.
wrestler? Come on, Gus. Work better than
Bro.
that with the fucking generalizations.
No,
What I'm getting at.
Do you go
regardless
into
of
the
your
dungeon? Do you go
Lash.
into the dungeon for years to come out one of the best fucking wrestlers of all times to be compared to a fucking janitor getting fucked over? Sorry,
Listen,
your fucking
what I am
equation
getting
sucks.
at though,
Your
what I'm
equation
getting at,
sucks.
what I'm getting at though, is
missed something.
Brett
It's that
getting
people are shit.
fucked over.
People are shit,
Brett,
and he's
listen,
a piece
Brett
of
getting
shit.
fucked
He's a
over.
phony piece of shit.
Again,
All you
Brett
guys are
getting-
doing is further emphasizing how much of a piece of shit he is by being like, well, there are other people in the world that are pieces of shit too. I'm not talking about them.
Brett, listen,
Brett's
Lash,
not talking
what I'm
about
getting
that.
at,
He's talking
what I'm
about that
getting
one
at,
piece of shit.
Lash,
He's
what I'm
talking about
getting at,
one.
Lash, what I'm getting at is
let's
Brett
relax,
getting
let's
fucked
relax.
over. Brett getting fucked over is no different than, let's say, I fuck over a coworker for a promotion. It's no different. Okay. H did what he had to do, and I'm not justifying it. Yes,
Right.
he was in the wrong for doing it, but he did it. He got ahead, and Brett got fucked over.
Yeah. And that makes him a phony person. Phony piece of shit.
My thing is this, like I said in the opening monologue, I think blood is thicker than water. We all agree. I personally think what happened to Owen, I definitely would have cut ties with WWE. That to me would have been the final straw. But again, Triple H was just following what Vince was telling him
Owen
to move.
wouldn't want him to end his
Just for
career.
him to move up. He was just following Vince just to move up. And I don't think he was married to Stephanie during that time, right? He got married to Stephanie like in '99, right? Or 2000. So it was '99. Yeah, it was '99. Yeah, I remember. Because they got married in Terrytown. Yeah. So again, he did what he had to do. He followed his boss to do that, and that happens in everyday job. They're gonna listen to their boss. Hey, you don't like this person? Guess what? Get some dirt on him. Get him up out of there. That happens. That's real life. That happens. Happens in every industry: wrestling, retail, the police force, the fireman force. It happens. It definitely happens. It happens everywhere. It's just because it's not talked about. Don't think it's not happening, because it is.
Thank God I didn't work for myself for so long. Nice motherfuckers out there. I don't know what y'all doing out there.
I'd have to ask, like, what you're thinking.
I've literally worked in the fucking vacuum industry, like to where the dirtiest thing that you can do is go in and undercut like a new person's fucking price. Just to be a piece of shit.
Well, poaching happens in those industries too.
But even then, that gets caught and fucking we do something about it
and get rectified. Yep, because poaching isn't allowed. Even when I sold like Avon and Tupperware, poaching isn't allowed. Someone can't just take
because it happens doesn't make it right.
Someone you signed.
Just because it happens doesn't make it right. And also, he's more of a proxy character in this whole thing. He wasn't Sean. He wasn't Vic.
No, you're right. Yeah.
He wasn't Earl Hebner, but he was still in the knowledge and in the know on it.
Yeah. Because he rolled the right coattails up, and that's what really bothers me. You guys, no, he didn't.
But I think what really set Bret Hart off, and I think Triple H lied to his wife. If we look at the documentary, you can correct me if I'm wrong, and I guess Triple H was laughing, and he was like, "Oh, I know." His wife was like, "I know you had something to do with it." And Triple H started laughing, and he was like, "Oh, I swear to God, don't swear to God all you want, because I know you had something to do with it." That probably still bothers him to this day.
I mean, wouldn't it bother you?
Yeah, if somebody lied to my wife, yeah, over my job, hell yeah. I was actually agreeing with that. I wasn't upset. No, I'm actually right with that.
It just shows how shady he was.
If somebody lied to my wife regarding my whereabouts in my job, of course.
And it just shows how shady it is. Just another example of how shady he is, how fake and phony he is. But
yeah, but I think people mature over time as well. You can't continue to hold people to like a younger standard. The man's pushing 60 years old. He probably matured,
But the thing about it, he probably matured. But we constantly have rumors about him still holding wrestlers back. We see it. And it's not just him. But it's not just him. But he's a big part of it still.
But God is
it's just mentality. That's mentality.
Okay, but didn't we all agree that Didn't we all agree? We agree this every week. The only thing, and he learned this from his father-in-law, the only thing he sees is money. That's all he sees now. So he's going to push up the right people that's funding his pockets. He's going to screw some people over. Every week, we joke and we make laugh about LA Knight.
You know what, though? It's not funny, though. And I'll tell you why.
I don't joke about it.
If you watch our other podcasts...
I'm not joking about that, but we'll make jokes.
He was the only person. He was the only wrestler at WrestleMania 40 to have his fucking merch sold out. The only wrestler.
Talked about how for months, the way they were burying Karrion Kross, like they're going to get rid of him. You can tell. They're fucking with him. They're going to get rid of him. They're doing the same exact thing to LA Knight. And like they have a way of going about things where it's obvious what they're doing, and like we can't just sit here and be like, "Well, that's business, not."
No, but
you're supposed to push up the most talented.
All right, but we all agree. We just all agree. WWE is a business, right? It happens to retail. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? LA Knight could have said something about Triple H or whatever. We don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what? You're saying this stuff. It's gonna be stopped. I remember, right? Like Dr. Dre, right? He was supposed to be the first billionaire rapper, right? He said something to Tyrese. Guess what? They canceled that deal. And gave him less money over the contract reported with Apple. So what I'm trying to say is, maybe Triple H told him something, you know what, I'm going to make you the champ or whatever, and he started running his mouth for some shit like that. We don't know that. I just hope to God it's not true, but we don't know that.
I mean, but that's why we're speculating. That's what our job
is.
Yeah, no,
we speculate. But that doesn't mean Triple H is shady.
And also,
listen, here's the other thing we have to realize. Huh? Here's the thing we also have to realize, okay? I'm going to use small numbers here. So let's say there's 10 spots that, you have your top 10 guys and you have 200 people that are performing for you. You're going to have to make some cuts. You're going to have to screw some people over, unfortunately, that may have extremely great talent, but you only have those 10 spots that you can fill as your top personas. Okay, so you got to make some tough choices. Not everybody's going to make it to the top. I remember a long time ago, Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, said to me, it's great that you want to be a professional wrestler, but remember, there's 1,000 guys out there that want that one spot, that one opportunity to make it in the WWE. Okay? And I took that as, oh shit, you know what? As much as I love this, is it realistic for me to push? Is it realistic for me at my age to go into professional wrestling, or do I need to have something under my belt that can feed me, that can keep a roof over my head, that can pay my bills? Okay. So again, you have so many wrestlers on your roster. You have a limited amount of showtime because you're cutting 30-minute promos, which downs you to like 3 matches a night. What are you going to do? You're going to screw some people over, unfortunately.
Yeah, and again, that doesn't make Triple H shady. It's just, again, he's going to have to screw somebody over.
It's business.
It's business, exactly. That don't make the man shady.
Now, listen, I'm not saying that I'm not saying
very shady.
I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying that there are some cuts or some actions that aren't shadier than others, because sometimes there is some personal issues that go, like, if I go talking shit about H and Stephanie about how much of asshole, and I get back to them, of course they're gonna treat me a little different. They're gonna push me out. I'm sure there's some cuts that are shady, but in the long run, it's a business. You have to make decisions that not everybody's gonna be happy with.
That's true with anything you do. Of course, I run business. I know that also, but it's how you make those choices that matter and count. And if you do dirty business, it's a part of your personality. It shows who you are.
But it's shady business dealings everywhere you work. Like we gotta stop that. Like it happens. I mean, like I said before, Triple H is shady. Okay, I mean, maybe, like I said, something happened behind the scenes, but again, he has to make stuff that's due for WWE to move forward.
Why isn't that happening? Because it ain't going well.
Huh?
I said, why isn't that happening? Because it's not going well.
I mean, he does report to somebody else. It's not a family-owned business no more. He reports to TKO now. I believe if it was like a family-owned business, if he obviously it was in the shareholders in '99 till TKO bought it out. But I think if it was family-owned and he was making all the decisions, I think it'll be a lot better now. It'll be more better product. But the problem is he has to respond to TKO. He has to respond to Disney. Disney got to say what's going on in this now. Who's the champ going to be? Who's going to win the matches? They were saying that on SportsCenter.
Yep. Yep.
So Triple H has to respond to these people.
But here's the thing, though.
That doesn't make the man shady. He has to respond to these people.
You have Shawn Michaels next. You have Road Dogg Jesse James on the creative team for SmackDown. So his people are all over the place.
Okay, so wait a minute.
He still doesn't have his influence where he wants it.
So wait a minute. So you saying that's wrong for bringing your people on?
No. What I'm saying is he still has influence everywhere.
I want to see what he's going at.
He doesn't have hands and everything. Oh no, he has a voice or eyes everywhere.
Okay, no, I was just making sure. Okay.
No. But he has voice or eyes everywhere throughout that company.
Exactly. But what I'm saying, like you just agree with my point. A lot of these wrestlers could be talking stuff about Triple H and is getting back to him. Why should I provoke your career when you feel this way about me?
Okay, but here's my another point. I'm going to recent controversies about Triple H. Him holding about certain coloration stars. I'm not going to dive into it, but why are we still getting these type of rumors about Triple H if they don't hold some consistency as to who he is?
Yeah.
Well, listen. I don't.
Wow.
So what's your statement that you're making?
The statement I'm making is, if he's such a great guy, why does he still have all these fucking problems? Same type of issues he had when he was younger. Same type of mentality haunting him throughout his career. And now it's him making the choices. So why do we still have this type of mentality popping up over and over and over?
And it can't always be about numbers, because Karrion Kross was the top merch seller right before he left.
But you're basing on merchandise, and I'm basing on personality. You can be a world-class athlete, a world-class professor, but if your personality stinks and sucks, I'm telling you that all that get diminished real
That's
fast.
funny.
It takes one
Logan Paul's
incident.
personality is absolute
Well, let me
trash.
finish. It takes one incident to get that taken away from you. We all know that. We all know that. It takes one incident. That's it. And
So
all that is taken away from you.
So is it about the business, or is this about Triple H's personal whatever he wants to do?
Could be
I
both.
think it's both.
I think it's both.
It's both.
So then we can absolutely discuss his attitude and his action and his mentalities if we're saying that's feeding into the business. Yes, him being phony has to do with this.
I'm in a position at my job, right? I can get people to the next level in their career. If they talking stuff about me, I'm not going to stop them. I'm not like that. You know, hey, listen, I would never stop nobody from eating. But if it's to the point where, you know, it's too severe, then I have to get somebody else involved to get another opinion. That's the way I roll. Now, if Triple H, if he's doing this all on himself, then yeah, I will agree with that. I will agree with that. I would. Hey, yo, I need, and I'm not talking about nobody in his clique. I'm talking about somebody else. Like, yo, I need another opinion. What you think about this guy or this girl?
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, like since it was a discussion about Triple H, I want to, you know, discuss all aspects of this conversation that should be mentioned, because it's not just one thing. It's not just about his past. It's not just one decision or one action. It's all of them cumulative. And here we are now. And I just think it's funny. And I really wanted to talk about it today because Bret Hart happened to say it. And like, we just had this argument. I'm like, let's finish this. Finally, put a nail in the coffin and really drag this bitch out and talk about it. Because there's something about his presence in wrestling that is like, it just doesn't seem right to a lot of people. And I'm one of those people. And Bret Hart's one of those people.
Well, I mean, listen, the fact is this, right?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And he had a part screwing over Sting. So that has another part.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you have to throw Sting in it. Go ahead, but go ahead.
It's true.
Who? That he screwed over Sting?
Yeah.
I don't think that was him. That was Vince, but go ahead.
You think they didn't little collude over that? You think that Triple H was, I want to be the one that, you know, can Sting?
And then also keep in mind your mentality with it. He's just following orders.
Yeah, oh God, Ryan. Oh my God.
Just following orders.
Go ahead, Ryan. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Next topic, please. Yeah, me and Ryan need to get him for a drink one day, man. Because for real, man. But go ahead. And Gus too. And Laniya, go ahead.
Look, in all honesty, all right. Triple H, we all know, started off as wrestler. He's done some shady shit to get to where he's at. Now he's in a position of power beyond just being the captain in the locker room. All right. He, along with TKO, are in charge of making some really, you know, tough decisions at some points. But a lot of it, as we've been saying, and I'm sticking to my guns, a lot of it has to do with money. That's what it boils down to. You might have some personal beef with somebody, but at the end of the day, that is the cream on top of your cup of coffee. Okay. All right. Everything else is money.
Let's talk money. SmackDown has had literally a million viewership drop off. This year,
had like
1 million people have stopped watching. It has progressed almost fucking about 125 to 150,000 a fucking month. Fucking stop watching it. And me and her, reviewing SmackDown was the worst. Because our reviews got to be like 20 minutes there because such little happened.
They were comedy shows because it's like money, no matches and everything.
You want to talk money? You got to invest in the creative aspect of it to appease people to keep viewing your fucking product.
Not just hire your whole piece of creative and he sucks. Because
I've seen it. Seen it also comes in with people too that stopped watching right because of Karrion Kross. that they were already on the fence, and they're like, they're not going to sign back on Karrion Kross. Fuck them. I'll watch AEW. AEW is actually
also comes
starting to
in
gain
with the
numbers.
fact. Listen, that also comes in with the fact, and I've said this before, WWE is putting on more drama by doing 30-minute promos and giving us like 3 10-minute matches. That to me is not wrestling. If I wanted to watch that, I would turn on Days of Our Lives or All My Children.
And they're losing viewers because of it. I'm one of them.
So we all agree Triple H creative sucks because the creative ain't creative enough. Thank you.
I'm a disagree. I think his correct. No, let me.
Laniya.
I disagree. She's not gonna even let me finish. She's just jumping the gun.
She didn't say nothing.
Go ahead, Will. Go ahead, Will.
To justify the shit.
I'm gonna disagree because I think I'm gonna say this. Y'all may not find it funny. However, and this is the reason why I disagree. NXT storylines is a hell of a lot more better than SmackDown and Raw now. So that's the reason why I'm not going to completely disagree with you, because I was watching NXT the other night while I was on the podcast as well. They storylines is a lot more better. It's more wrestling.
And Shawn Michaels is all heart with that, and it just shows how he was always the puppet master. And
right, that's the reason I bring that up.
Now Triple H is going back to NXT for a little bit.
Oh, please God, no.
No, he's not fighting. I think it's just going to be war. He's going to bring his own team versus Shawn Michaels' team. He can't wrestle no more because of his heart.
No.
I wasn't saying wrestle.
Creative,
yeah. Going down to be creative at NXT.
No. What I'm saying, if it's him and Shawn Michaels and William Regal a part of the creative team NXT, and that guy Lee Fitton, that's why I asked who the hell is he. But I think he's more suitable for NXT. Because, like I said, they storylines have been more better than the main roster. Now, I don't know if he has a say in AAA. Maybe he does. I'm assuming he does because Dominic Mysterio won the title. But I think when it comes to creative, he's more suited for NXT than the main roster.
Dominic Mysterio's won the title. Los Garza won the tag titles.
Yeah, let's say there's been a few. And they did the crossover from the wrestlers too. I mean, like, they're doing that really well, but you can just tell what he's touched and what he's not touching. And what he's not touching is the best.
Yeah, no. I think him touching NXT is good. But again, I don't know if it's him. I don't think if it's William Regal, I don't know.
I mean, you have William Regal and Shawn Michaels over there on the same team. You don't need to know if anybody else is there, you know? They're both amazing, dedicated professional wrestlers that have been anime professionals their entire life, including being snitches and stuff, Shawn Michaels, and maybe some other stuff that nobody talks about. You know,
now, like, so the main roster, who's making these decisions with Triple H too?
It might be fucking Road Dogg for all we know. Shit, he might be working with Stephanie. She'd never know what the
Road
fuck.
Dogg's a trainer down at the NXT facility.
Listen. I mean, is his booking terrible? Yeah, I could say that. It's been trash. It has peaks when it's like the stock market. It goes up, then it goes down, like a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. But
and you can tell which ones he invests in.
Yeah.
But then you can also see how little the investment goes. Like Penta's had one Intercontinental title shot since he's been on. One.
They hyped him up so much and they dropped the ball so hard.
And you're guaranteed he's a paper bag wrestler. Like, you're guaranteed you're going to get a good match out of Penta no matter who he wrestles. But that's where they've kept him at. And that's where they plan on keeping him at is, you know, being that great mid-card superstar.
Right.
And you know, when he's number 10 in the merch right now, you know, so when it comes to numbers and stuff like that, you know, you'd think that, hey, you know, maybe put a belt on that man, but they got it on Dom, who is just one above him in merch sellers.
But he's in Judgment Day. And Judgment Day stole everything. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You got to know that's got to be his creative decision.
yeah,
It
like
has to be.
Triple H is gonna look at people that came up from NXT. That's known. I mean, let's call it what it is. That's obvious. He favors NXT
the
wrestlers
only
more
one,
than anything, huh?
I know the other they were. There's only like 3 from NXT. Oh no, JD was on NXT too. Dom is the only one that wasn't on NXT. But he was NXT North American champion.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So there is that. But
I'd be fine with him focusing on like certain aspects if he did it well. And if it always wasn't this air of something fucked up with him.
yeah. And that's it's become a continuous theme.
And it's literally been decades. Like
yeah. And it just the biggest thing right now, it just is where creatively is everything going. Like, I honestly, I'm not really tempted to watch WrestlePalooza because I'm kind of just tempted to just not watch it because I could do it through my VPN and Netflix, but I kind of don't want to give them the ratings.
yeah, I mean,
I'm actually just curious. I'm actually just curious because I do have the Disney bundle, and they've been promoting the shit out of that on ESPN. So I'm wondering if I have access to it because I do have that includes ESPN Plus.
No, you do have access.
Yeah. If your bundle includes ESPN, then you do.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people may be boycotting Disney because of the whole shit with Jimmy Kimmel. So that's going to affect WWE.
Yeah, shout out to Jimmy Kimmel not making a harmless comment about the fact that the president is showing such little empathy over Charlie Kirk that he'd rather talk about a fucking ballroom.
Yeah. Then Kevin Nash, he's going back and forth now. He's going to sit there and say, no, ABC's not allowed in my household. And I'm looking at this dude like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
first of all, who's left in his household? He's old as shit. It's him, this girl. Like, shut.
Like Kevin Nash out of all people, bro. Like, come on, man. We ain't forget about the comment you said, bro. Like, come on, man.
Like Kevin Nash, like he's been slipping recently. I'm like, I was gonna forgive you for age. That's what I started doing, but nah, bro, shut up. There's only a certain amount of slips you can have with me before I just I'm not gonna watch you either. Like, so.
Yeah,
I don't like division. It's ridiculous that people divide it so easily. People are so simple. Like, just life is simple. Love one another. Be a good person. Be good to yourself. Wash your hands, and wash your ass. I mean, life isn't that hard when you don't make it, But
protect children.
Apparently, we have to check what people are under fucking stalls. Never in my life did I care about who was pissing next to me until recently, because now I'm like, it might be a serial killer because people are crazy. Like I got into my 30s before I cared about who was pissing next to me in a stall. Life's crazy.
Yeah. And it is division that I was just listening to C-SPAN this afternoon because I was listening to the radio because I didn't have internet and stuff, and
I watch C-SPAN all the time. Is that bad?
No, it because it's showing these idiots, on either side of the aisle for what they really are, and it's disgusting. It's cruel. Like they passed that they're going to be able to start treating minors as adults and jailing them. Jailing them as adults for general petty crimes. They've lowered in 5 states. They're lowering the age of consent for not only sex but for marriage down to 14.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, those red states were already marrying off their little girls and just not saying anything about it.
All red states.
Stuff. So, that's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, but
let's give
that's
you
gonna
one
be
more.
something to look into, though.
and again, division. That's it, because these people want a crazy world instead of loving and caring for each other, and that's so hard.
Because capitalism, and especially American capitalism, we make more money off of chaos. We are a war country. We the only times that we've gotten ourselves out of economic depressions is with wars.
Well, that's because that's the only way we know. We've never tried peace because that doesn't make rich people money. Peace always makes poor people money. That's why we don't see it enough. When the general public starts to prosper, rich people don't like that shit.
Yep.
So that's simple as that.
Got
That's why I try not to jump on one side or the other. But they both suck. And let's not ignore how our entire government, both sides, have basically the same donors that play on both sides. They literally like fund every law on both sides, and it's just. And then
you want to make voting. You want to make voting and bills and stuff matter again. Make lobbying illegal. Make lobbying firms illegal. If you did that, I bet you'd see a whole different change in who would actually participate in wanting to be in government. Because that's where all those congressmen, senators, and all of them make their real money. They make it off the lobbyists. You can have 150,000 signatures. I got $300,000 for you. Right. What you gonna take? Gonna take that $300,000? Fuck your constituents. Fuck them. They'll vote for, and guess what? They'll vote for you again. They'll vote for you again after doing it.
Today's TED Talk is brought to you by W.GG. For all your energy drink needs, W.GG.
We do have another topic to get to. I'm glad everyone got everything out of their system.
Gus is about.
Are we all? First off, are we all good? Because this was a pretty heated discussion, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Because
I thoroughly enjoyed the heat between all of us. I think it made for a very spicy convo tonight.
Thank you, Bret Hart.
Bret, you're shit talking. It starts even more shit talking. Keep talking all that good shit, boy.
Keep answering those questions.
If I could say something about the Montreal screw job real quick.
No. I wouldn't be said about the goddamn Montreal screw job.
Leave it the way it is.
So now we have Lash the Hitman Hart.
Yeah. Listen, I think he's phony. I think he's a piece of shit. I wish he was there when I punched Vince. Then maybe he wouldn't.
That shit meant. That's why I completely omitted it to my comments. I'm like, yo, he's old.
Yeah, I don't know what that meant.
If you saw me,
if he was in the room when I punched
me beat up your father-in-law, you would know that he's not that tough, or he doesn't have that much. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just like a dominance thing.
Probably.
That's how guys think. Dominance, pissing on trees and stuff,
Yeah. Pissing on trees. But
so, guys, do you want to discuss who everyone thinks their championship wrestler is the best of all time or no?
Yeah. So Gus is about to leave.
We got a little time. Oh wait, what time is it? 9:44. All right. So let me knock off my top 5. Okay. This way you guys can disagree with me or agree with me. Now let me just ask. We're talking about world championships, or we're talking championships in general?
WWE champions.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. If you want to talk world champions in general, go ahead.
All right. So Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, one of the greatest technicians, one of the greatest wrestlers to ever step into the square circle. One of the very few Olympians, if at all, any others, to wear a belt. All right.
It's like the second only, right?
I think so. I think Mark Henry comes a close second, but I don't think he's an actual Olympian. Maybe
he's different.
Huh?
He's strong, man. That's different.
Oh yeah.
All right. I have to mention him because he's one of the greatest. He was great on the mic. He's psychologically one of the best wrestlers out there. He is sorely missed. Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero was a great champion in my eyes. I'm gonna say shit. Who else can I say? The Undertaker. Listen, there's hands down. You cannot say that he wasn't a good champion. He's one of the most respected wrestlers in the industry, not just by his peers, but by wrestling fans all around the world. You mentioned the Undertaker, and it's like everybody knows who this guy is. I'm going to say, even though he's not as well loved as he was back in the days, although he's still very, very popular among fans. The Rock. I honestly, he reignited a lot of people's interest in wrestling. He was very charismatic. He was the most electrifying man in sports entertainment to that day. All right, I know y'all don't agree with me, but I like The Rock. Yeah, The Rock. And I would put all right. And I would say Triple H to piss you people off, but I don't want to waste it. But I do think that Triple H is a great champion. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but I feel that he is. But if I'm gonna round this out, I'm gonna say Bret Hart. I mean, again, this guy wrestled his ass off. He could wrestle a paper bag blindfolded and have the most incredible match. There's no doubt. As much as I'm tired of hearing him complain, I could sit down and watch every match that he's had on a pay-per-view back to back and not find a bad match. So I guess that's my top 5.
Right on.
Okay, well, I'll go over mine since I don't want you about to steal mine. Right? So Bruno Sammartino, because when we were younger, he was what everybody tried to be, for such a long time. And I think he still deserves a lot of credit for how long he held it and how skilled and talented he was. Ric Flair. I put Ric Flair in this list because Ric Flair, very talented. He went through so many decades, so many different, eras, and he seamlessly was able to work with so many different people, even though his attitude's trash and he's alcoholic. I think that's a great attribute, be flexible during work. And he's known. He's one of those people that would be known forever. And 2 girls just stole his Rolex, and he was like, oh, well. I think that's pretty cool. Just throwing it out there.
That story goes that he woke up with 2 women and thought that they stole his Rolex, and they said, Rick, don't you remember you hated the pasta, so you tossed the your
Stromboli,
Rolex.
right?
Yeah, you hated the Stromboli, so you tossed your Rolexes into the salad and said,
as
here.
As soon as I read that, I was like, she robbed him. You named the pasta, you robbed him. So they robbed Ric Flair. I mean, Jeff Hardy. The Hardy Boys were a part of an era that will never get back.
Yeah.
And he, the Hardy Boys together were entire momentum in themselves. But Jeff Hardy was really, obviously, the one that held it up. He was one of the more talented, in my opinion, of the 2. And I think his championships mean something because of the era. And when I think back and look back, there's not many wrestlers I remember, although the title changed hands constantly during the Attitude Era, there's only some that you remember that actually, made you stop and think wow, I still remember that. And there's a reason for that. And I often think of Jeff Hardy and his title runs. So that's why I put him on here. I actually got 4. I didn't realize. I thought, and I stopped with Goldust. I loved Goldust growing up. I loved it. I loved any opportunity he got to be on screen because he was different. I just love things that are erratic and bold. And to me, he was just what things need to be, just different, whimsical, slightly erotic, pushing boundaries. I love all that ish. So Yes, and I only put 4, and I don't have a big list of this. And I actually thought about this all day, but those are the only ones. And I was like, I don't want anyone that anybody else chose. So think out of the box.
Right on. Yeah. Mine don't have all a particular order except for my number one. My number one's Mick Foley.
All right, hold on. Before you continue, I'm gonna have to sign off because it's getting to that time. I will be definitely checking out your top 5s when you guys post the video up. But I just want to say peace out. Enjoy the rest of the podcast. Peace, love, and chicken grease.
Later.
Great night.
But Mick Foley, he's just he's the toughest man in all of wrestling. And one of his title wins, he pinned The Rock with a fucking forklift. Like, come on, he pinned him with a fucking forklift. That is just
Foley. And when I go back and like watch ECWs and stuff like that, I'm just like, first of all, he was such a huge part of my childhood. I often forget like how many years he's been a part of my life. Like,
yeah.
But not just that, he's always been such a different character, and just his whole like idea of like, I'm happy with who I am and I like what I do. I'm gonna do the hell out of it. I just think there's nothing better than that in wrestling or any other profession, in life in general, you know.
Yeah. I was looking at a list of WWE champions, and a lot of them he's faced, and a lot of them had their best matches with him. Which brings me to one of those guys that had one of his greatest matches, arguably his greatest match, was Randy Orton. I love Randy. Still love him today. He's still putting on banger matches. I didn't even watch him in his heyday and prime, but I've gone back and I've watched some of his top matches, and he really put it on. He still puts it on. He's just one of those guys that sure, he's a nepo baby for sure, but but hey, he surpassed both his father and his grandfather.
I don't think nepo baby wrestlers count, because to be a wrestler, to get to the level he is, you gotta work. It's not like you can't just get pushed to the top. You get pushed to the top, you'll fall right back down if you suck.
Yeah, and he worked up in OVW and shit like that. He got in his training regimens. He was part of that great class.
He also trained with Dusty Rhodes, right?
Yeah, he's a Dusty Rhodes boy.
Yeah.
And I got to eat chicken and chill with him for a minute and bullshit with him, and
I've favorite wrestling story ever, eating chicken.
One of them. Really, my favorites with Mick, and that I got to meet him after went to Hershey Park for our 8th grade trip, and he was doing spoken word, like Q&A on his first books tour, and he said at the end of the thing, "Now I understand that there's a class here from out of state that they're here. And there's some wrestlers in there. Their teacher told me," and it was us. And he was like, "I'd like to hang out and meet you guys." And he hung out with us for like 15 minutes.
That's cool. Academic school, they never did shit fun.
Yeah. Another one on there, and people can argue and say he was the best of the best, and I wouldn't blame him. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He was the best of a generation.
Yeah, definitely the best of a generation. And also his career of going from this technical, guy to having the injury, to having to become a brawler because of it, and still just pulling off great matches with both styles. And and he's a Paul Heyman guy.
You always figure out Paul E. Dangerously.
Yeah, Paul E. Dangerously. So gotta love that. And another one that I was kind of tossing up in between someone else. And one I was going to say is Bret Hart. Bret Hart, best of the best there was, best there ever will be. He's just we've all already said how much he's impacted things and still impacts things to today.
Look at our whole podcast. He gave it the whole topic.
Yeah. And I'm kind of tossed up on my last one because we already said Undertaker. And you already said Ric Flair. Oh, you know what? I just said Benoit, Chris Benoit. Yeah, he did get to defend his. He was champion for a good 8 months after WrestleMania, and put on some banger matches. And WrestleMania 20, that triple threat, arguably the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. So
it's definitely Benoit, up there. It's sad.
Benoit,
the legacy gets erased.
I mean, it just that moment of him and Eddie in the ring after WrestleMania 20, like that'll go down to me as like the most brotherly, loving moment in like all of wrestling. It's just obviously sad what happened and stuff, but just the Wolverine, man, he was, and he earned it. And then also, just talking as a world champion, here's some credit to him and the fact that they made him world champion in WCW and left the very next fucking day. Because fuck them.
So many people could forget that.
Yep. And WCW tried to cover it up by saying that he relinquished the title. And then he was on fucking Raw the next week.
Crazy times.
Times. Good old Monday Night Wars. But yeah.
So what's your top 5 championship for WWE, Will?
I mean, y'all took some away from me, but
damn.
I'm gonna throw one. I'm gonna say Chris Jericho.
What?
I say 4?
I said 4. You said 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, well, number one, I'm gonna say Chris Jericho. I think Chris Jericho was definitely awesome. I think he was the first undisputed champion. So you definitely,
yeah, it was.
Yeah, so you definitely gotta give it credit is due for him. I remember I was watching that the other day when he had his first intro and
that countdown,
the Millennium Man. And every time I watch it, I start laughing because The Rock makes this face like, how dare you?
Yeah.
So I definitely have to say him. I mean, Stone Cold. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I mean, King of the Attitude Era. Bought it every night. He made it cool disrespecting your boss and screaming and yelling. For the kids that watching this, please don't listen to what I say. But he made it good. Definitely, I'm gonna have to say, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle was definitely beast, man. Like I said the other day, you definitely can make an argument top 10 ever, man. He bought it.
I always want to meet him. He seems like a really cool guy too.
Yeah, he bought it every day. Bret Hart. Bret Hart was the living legend, man. We dedicated we dedicated how much time talking about Bret Hart? Like the full hour. We mentioned Bret Hart.
Yeah.
So that
he made your list. He made my list.
Yes.
And Gus's.
Yeah.
Which I if anything, I want to make a substitution with Shawn Michaels. That was who my toss up was going to be.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels was my first real champion.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 12 was the first WrestleMania that I bought. And I bought it specifically to watch him in that Iron Man match. Him and Bret. And that is one of the greatest matches of all time.
Yeah. Oh man, but definitely, Chris Benoit, definitely, I have to put him on there. Definitely was good. Um, that's about it. That's all I can really think of. It's just that, and Undertaker, obviously, you can't go wrong with that. I mean, Undertaker brought it in and out. He was a great champion. Definitely was a great champion. So that's my list in a nutshell.
We lived through like such an awesome era of wrestling, and
yeah,
like
definitely.
I love thinking back. Like, damn, I like my brother who I started watching wrestling, who was like 11 and a half years older than me. He used to watch it because it was just captivating, you know. And like now, it's just like, you know.
Yeah, Undertaker. He's someone that he should be respected as a champion, but also his streak became a championship in itself.
Oh yeah.
The streak, you know, that was a title that Brock Lesnar won. That wasn't just ending something. That was a legacy. That'll never be duplicated. It can't be.
Yeah. But you can't have another Undertaker because you can't go back to those times again. Like Undertaker came from the 80s, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's so crazy? I remember when King of the Ring. I remember King of the Ring had prestige to it. You know, doesn't have that much It used to be part of like the major pay-per-views. Now it's just downgraded. You know, it had so much prestige when the King of the Ring. That was like a title, you know, but it's not like that anymore.
No. Now everything's money in the bank.
That's basically what it was too.
Yeah.
And the fact that they took away from having it straight tournament matches to where they have these 4-way qualifiers. I'm just like, no, you do these individual matches so you can show off these wrestlers, win or lose. You know, that individual match is probably going to be that loser's most time on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put 3 people in as loser, well, then they're just going to forget about them. Just remember who the winner was, and it devalues it.
I totally agree.
Yeah, and King of the Ring used to be one of the top ones, and now just like Royal Rumble going to Saudi along with WrestleMania there, that just why not just have the whole PLE season in Saudi Arabia? Because it goes Royal Rumble, then Elimination Chamber, and then they have like an extended month before they'll be squeezing in something else, I'm sure, in between Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber,
or 2 if they can, because like every week there's another PLA that is not short and not paired for with 3 matches. It's just becoming really, it's obvious money grab, but it's just becoming so redundant. It's just like, I don't even want to feed into this anymore because why?
Yeah. It is. It's just. It's getting.
Or maybe we're just old.
Well, you know, that's one thing that, like, when I've done my little binges of going back and watching the Attitude Era and watching Raw, you kind of wear rose-colored glasses on the fact that fucking New Age Outlaws were like the hardest working like tag team champions. They would rinse and repeat the same thing every week. But
so much more.
but that's the thing. You know, they would say the same things, but they would put on really good fucking matches.
Good
And,
gun. Road Dogg has a couple of steps that he did constantly, but you know.
yeah. But we wear it with rose-colored glasses at certain times, especially in the earlier parts of the Attitude Era.
It's only because
Where,
of the actual feeling. I mean, I think it was sexism running. Like the racism jokes were like at their peak. Like, you know, like there's so many aspects that we can pick apart, but it's the whole attitude and the freedom that gave you that we really look back on, you know, rose-colored glasses more than anything.
yeah,
Because everything, like no matter what, you talk about the 60s, you're like, that was such a great time. It's a time of revolution. There's a lot of racism, there's a lot of bombing, there's a lot of hatred. The KKK was still doing night rides. We can look back on anything and pick it apart, but that's the whole point about looking up things with nostalgia. You know, you look at for the good parts because the bad is what you try to forget.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a good note to end it on.
Definitely.
Which thank you all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Check out WGG. Check us out next Tuesday. We'll have a topic. What that topic is, we don't know yet.
And
We're
me and
gonna
Ryan will start doing streaming soon. Like he was about to say, and I cut him off. I say it faster.
All right, cool.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye. We'll see you next week.